Hi student, I am back again with a new topic. Today what we are going to do is a very interesting topic, and that is solid state. Some very important question with respect to this topic. We are going to have a discussion of that. So let's not waste time and start directly with some beautiful, interesting question based on this topic. Okay? Let's have a look at this question now. Which of the following exists as covalent crystal in its solid state? Now if you see all these four options, we understand silicon particles are held by covalent bond. Therefore, they exist as covalent crystal in the solid state. So among the following, silicon will be the one which is found in the solid state. And you know iodine is a sublimate compound. Okay. So your answer for this question is B. Now have a look at this question. It says the number of hexagonal faces that are present in truncated octahedron is. Now if you draw the two-dimensional structure of truncated octahedron, it will appear like this. Okay, have a look at this structure of truncated octahedron. It's a two-dimensional structure. Your observation is there are total 14 faces, out of which 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 are hexagon, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them are square. So out of 14, 8 are hexagonal in shape and 6 are square. So they have asked for hexagonal faces. So your answer for hexagonal faces will be 8. Now student, have a look at this question. It says a body-centric lattice is made up of two different types of atom, A and B. A occupies the body center and B occupying the corner positions. One of the corners is left unoccupied per unit cell. The empirical formula of such a solid is, okay. Now you notice there are two types of atom, and A is occupying the body center. That means atom B lies in the center. This is atom B or A. Atom A occupies the body center position, so it will be in the center, and B is occupying the corners. Now how many corners do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So B is occupying the corners. Okay, then it says B occupying the corner position, one of the corner is left unoccupied. That means one of the corner, B is absent. B is absent here. So now, for a single unit cell, A is 1. So per unit cell, atom A is 1. Atom A is 1. Now, per unit cell atom B will be equal to atom B. We all know corner contribution is 1/8, and there are total 7 B atom at the corners. So total contribution will be 1/8 into 7, which will be 7 upon 8, 7 by 8. So therefore the empirical formula will be equal to A1B 7 by 8. Now both of them you multiply by 8, so it will become 8A and B 7. So your final answer is 8A and B 7. So your answer will be D, which is the most appropriate answers. Okay? Answer. So let's go for the next question now. Experimentally, it was found that a metal oxide has the formula M0.98, that is metal, along with oxygen. Metal M is present as M plus 2 and M3 plus in its oxide. Fraction of the metal which exists as M3 would be. Very interesting question. So now, if you see very carefully, you realize that the total metal is 0.98. In this metal, there are two categories of metal ion. One M2 plus and other M3 plus. Two types of metals are there. Now, they say that metal 2 plus metal 3 plus total is equal to 0.98. 0.98, both metal ion together gives you 0.98, and we are supposed to know M3 plus. So let this M3 plus be X. So M2 plus will be 0.98 minus X. Okay. Now, in any compound, the total charge of a metal will be equal to total charge of oxygen oxide in a case of metal oxide. Now for total charge of the metal, now M3 is X, so the charge of M3 will be 3. In this case the charge is 3 plus now, so we multiply 3 into X will be the charge of M3 plus, and the charge of M2 will be 2 into 0.98 minus X, and the charge of oxygen is 2. So both the charges are equal. Total charge should be equalized. So in this case, it will be 3x plus 1.96 minus 2x is equal to 2. So in this case, it will be x will be equal to 2 minus 1.96. Therefore, x will be equal to 0.04. So you got the number of ions of M3 plus. This is the number of ions of M3 plus. Now you wanted percentage. So percentage of M3 plus in the metal will be 0.04 divided by 0.98 into 100, and your final answer will be this into this divided by 98, so it will come to 4.08%. So M3 plus present in the solution is 4.08 is your answer. So your final answer will be among the option B is the correct option. Now let's see this question now. It says a solid has a structure in which atom of tungsten, atom of oxygen and atom of sodium are located respectively at the corners. That means tungsten is at the corner, center of the edges, so oxygen is at the center of edges and sodium is in the center of the cube. Oh, very interesting question. The compound is. Now we had done this type of question previously. Let's see how to solve now this question. Now this is a cube. Again, now what they say, tungstens are located at the corners. Okay, so this is the corner. There are total 8 corners. So what is present at the corners? Tungsten is present at the corner. So here is tungsten, here is tungsten, here is tungsten present at the respective corners. Okay, then oxygen is present at the center of the edges. Now tell me, total how many edges are there? There are total 12 edges. The center of the edges, oxygen is present on the center of the edges. So count it, how many are there total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So oxygen is present at the 12th center of the edges and sodium is present inside. Sodium is present inside. Okay. So now let's calculate it. So per unit cell, atom of sodium, that is Na, will be 1 since it is present in the center. So atom is 1. Secondly, atom of tungsten. Let's talk about tungsten now. Corner contribution is 1/8 and there are 8 corners. So 1/8 into 8 will come to 1 atom. So tungsten also 1 atom. The third, atom of oxygen. Oh, they are present at the center of the edge and contribution is 1/4. So 1/4 into 12 edges comes to 3 comes to 3. Okay, so now the compound will be sodium is 1, tungsten is 1, and oxygen is 3. So your answer for this question will be Na1, W1 and O3. So let's see which is the correct option. Option B is the correct answer for this question. Okay, we'll go for the next question now. The packing efficiency of the two-dimensional square unit cell shown below is. Now look at the structure very carefully. They are asking for packing efficiency. So how will you solve this question? Let's see. So first thing what you do is, I want the packing efficiency. Packing efficiency. In this case, the packing efficiency will be, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 circles. And out of that, one circle is totally lying inside the square structure, whereas a remaining circle, 4 of them, their contribution is 1/4 each one. So now how will you get the packing efficiency? Packing efficiency will be the ratio of area occupied by circle divided by area of square. This will be your formula. Now let us take one by one. The first thing is, you take out the area of all circle. In this case, there is one circle which is totally inside. So the area for that circle will be pi r square, plus there are 4 circles where the contribution is only 1/4. So 1/4 into pi r square. Like that, there are 4 of them. There are 4 circles which contributes only 1/4 the area of it. So 4 of them. So total comes to, the area is 2 pi r square. So the area occupied by the circle will be 2 pi r square. Now we want the area of a square. The area occupied by the circle is 2 pi r. I correct myself. Area occupied by the circle will be 2 pi r square. And now we want area of the square. Now we know that area of square will be length into breadth. Now the question is, how to get length into breadth? For that, what you do is, draw a diagonal. Take this triangle ABC. Take triangle, right angle triangle ABC. Applying Pythagoras, AC square will be equal to AB square plus BC square. Now when you see AC, it is radius plus 2r plus 1r. So in this case, we can put 4r square. Reason, this is r. So we have 4r. Okay, we have taken radius of this circle, diameter of the inner circle and radius of the top. So total comes to 4r. So 4r will be equal to, let us take this as a square plus a square. Reason, sides of a squares are same. So this will become 16r square is equal to 2a square. So in this case it will become 8r will be equal to 8r square will be equal to a square. So now it will be 2 root 2 which will be equal to a. So that means each length and breadth is 2 root 2. So now I am going to take length into breadth 2 root 2 r into 2 root 2 r. So area of a square is length into breadth. So I am going to substitute here. So it is 2 root 2 r into 2 root 2 r. Now let's see what is the final answer. You get it? Okay. Now this 2 and 2 gets cancelled. R and R gets cancelled with r square. What is left out is 2 into root 2 will give you 4. So it is pi divided by 4, which is nothing else but 3.14 divided by 4, which comes out to be 0.7854. Okay, now if you talk in terms of percentage, it will be 78.54%. So your final answer in terms of percentage is 78.54. So your answer is D, which is the correct option for this question. Okay student, let's have a look at this question now. It says, what is the coordination number of body-centered cube? Now, what is the meaning of the word body-centered cube? A cube in which the central atom in it will be touching how many atoms? That's what is called coordination number. Okay, that means the atom is in the center. They are asking you, what is the coordination number of body-centered cube? Body center में the atoms are present at the corners of the cube and one is at the center. So the center one is touching 8 atoms. So the coordination number in case of body centered is 8. Your answer is A, option A. Okay, so now we go for the next question. Lithium forms body-centered cubic structure. The length of the side of its unit cell is 351 picometer. Atomic radius of lithium will be. Now, we know that the radius is equal to root 3 by 4 into A, which is the length of the side of the unit cell. For a body-centered cubic structure, radius is given by the formula root 3 by 4 into A. So it is root 3 by 4 into the length of the side of its unit cell is given as 351 picometer. So solving this, your answer for radius will be 154 picometer. So answer is D for this question. Okay, so we go for the next one now. The edge length of a face-centered cubic cell of an ionic substance is 508 picometer. If the radius of the cation is 110 picometer, the radius of the anion you want. Now we know for FCC, that is face-centered cubic cell structure, for an ionic compound, twice the R plus R minus is equal to the edge length, where A is edge length, R plus is the radius of the cation, R minus is the radius of the anion. Now we have radius of the cation given as 110, we wanted for anion, and this edge length is given as 508 picometer. So now 110 minus this divided by 2, so it will be 254 picometer. So R minus will be 254 picometer minus 110. So it will be 441 picometer is your final answer for R dash. So your option D is the correct answer for this question. Okay students, we see a very interesting question now. It says the flame color of metal ions are due to Frankel defect, Schottky defect, metal deficiency defect, or metal excess defect. Now the basic color is seen because of metal excess defect. Reason for that is, a crystal basically is made up of positive, negative ions, positive and negative ions. So in this case, what actually takes place in metal excess defect, one of the anions is missing. One of the anion gets missing, and in that place an electron is trapped. This is called as F center. F centers. So now what happens is, when light of certain wavelength falls on it, it absorbs energy and it gets excited. This electron jumps up by absorbing light, by absorbing energy of a certain wavelength, and the complementary color is seen by us. So the color is because of metal excess defect. In this defect, an electron is trapped which absorbs energy of a certain wavelength, and the complementary color is seen by us. So your answer for this question is metal excess defect. Okay, now we go for the next question. Potassium chloride KCl crystallizes in the same type of lattice as does sodium chloride NaCl. Given the ratio of radius of cation sodium and the anion is 0.55, and the radius of K plus and radius of Cl minus is 0.74. Calculate the ratio of the side of the unit cell for KCl to that of NaCl. So you want the radius of KCl upon, you want the ratio of the side, you want the radius of the side of KCl upon side of NaCl. So you want the ratio of the side of unit cell to the KCl. So let's see how to calculate this. First of all, you have been given R radius of Na plus or radius of Cl minus as 0.55. What you do is add 1 on both the side. Now when you add 1 on both the side, this will become RCl minus plus 1, and this also you add 1 to it. So here we get radius of Na plus radius of Cl minus upon radius of Cl minus, which will be equal to 1.55. 1.55. This you take it as equation 1. Equation 1. Similarly, you take the other one given to you. Similarly given Rk plus upon Rcl minus is 0.74. Add 1 on both the side, so K plus 1 upon Rcl minus is 0.74 plus 1. So now Rk plus Rcl minus upon Rcl minus is 1.74. Now this is equation 2. Now what you do is divide equation 1 and equation 2. So when you divide equation 1 and 2. Now when you divide equation 1 and 2, you can write it on the top. Dividing equation 1 and 2, divide equation, you wanted KCL on the top, so divide equation 2 and 1. So you will get Rk plus Rcl minus upon Rna plus Rcl minus, which is nothing else but 1.74 divided by 1.55. Now after dividing, the final answer will be 1.1226. So your answer for this question is A. Option A is the correct answer. Okay. So with that, we come to the end of a very interesting topic of solid state. Large number of questions we had solved with respect to this topic. So next lecture, we are going to meet again with a new topic with some more interesting question. Till then, remain safe, remain happy and start working hard. Okay? See you all in the next lecture.